Look at this. How delicious does that look? Buttermilk fried chicken with spicy fries and homemade ranch. Now, I've made spicy chicken, fried chicken before, and I've told you about Rosie McKean. Well, I can't remember her name now. Rosie McKean. So Rosie is a home economist that I worked with on a couple of food shows I've done, and she worked with me all the way through my Nadja's Family Feasts. She's lovely. She's a brilliant cook, and I subscribe to her monthly dinner party. What do you call mailing list? This month was her fiance's birthday, and she asked him if there was anything in the world, what would you have? And he said, please make me buttermilk fried chicken, and like curly fries, but not curly fries. So he wanted the flavour of curly fries. And look, she always gives you little tips, and she says how much people's fried chicken goes wrong all the time. So she said, I'm going to be really frank. Usually the buttermilk brine is too thick, which means then the coating's too thick, so you don't get that lovely crispy, light crispiness that you want from good fried chicken. Oil is not correct temperature. You have to use a thermometer really if you're frying chicken. So 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning, which I don't have, but I do happen to have these two chicken, I need that there, sorry. These 2 chicken seasoning things that have got, I've looked into the ingredients in that other one. They've kind of got what that's got. So 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to, one, and then I'm going to use a tablespoon of this, and then hopefully I'm at the all-purpose seasoning. But I'm going to buy that. She recommends that because she really knows her stuff. So 2 tablespoons. This is really interesting because she said 4 chicken stock cubes crumbled.
What's that interesting?
4? And we've got salt. Well, let's see. Well, you know, what is fried chicken? If you get it from the chicken shop, what is it, or what do you need loads of afterwards? Loads of blimmin' water. Oh, I really want to go against Rosie and just use 3 and use more really good sea salt, but she does know what she's talking about. These don't crumble so much, these, it's annoying.
They're organic.
They have big lumps, but they're organic. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder or garlic granules. Ooh, see now she says a tablespoon of salt. Flaky salt. So what we're making here, just in case I didn't say it, is the buttermilk marinade. So this is only marinade, you're not going to eat all of that, it's just to really get the flavours into the chicken. 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. Now this is what I'm unsure of, Mark, because it says 2 teaspoons also of chilli powder.
Right.
Now, cayenne powder is spicy. Do you think I should miss out the chilli powder?
Yes.
I'm going to miss out the chilli. So you would then add 2 teaspoons of chilli. Remember, you're not going to be eating all that. It's just to infuse in the marinade. So what I think I'll do instead is add a bit of pepper. 500 mils of buttermilk. It says it on the side. If you haven't got any buttermilk, use some milk with a squeeze of lemon in. 50 mils, we were going to make this yesterday, but we didn't have any of this, and I felt like this is going to be a big part of having the proper flavour. See, it would be quite hot with this, wouldn't it? And the chilli pepper and the cayenne. How many 15s are there in 50?
Oh, 3 remainder 5.
Okay, so 3, we need 50 mils. Oh my God, you've got to be joking. We're going to be here all day, hang on. So you need 50 mils of this. And she really does recommend this one. I think it's because it's quite American. Oh, okay, that was the extra bit then. 1, 2, 3. excited about dinner?
Yeah.
And I'm making ranch dressing.
Yeah.
And then 120 mils of pickle juice.
Ooh.
Interesting. So. I suppose that will really help tenderize as well with the buttermilk. So overnight, or at least 6 hours, you want for this. Now, her recipe, this is serves for 3 thighs, 3 drumsticks, and 500 grams of wings. But my lot will only want breasts, won't you?
I love thighs.
And I'm going to keep the skin on, okay, the thighs. So I'm doing 3 thighs because we want it to look good as well. We need a mixture. I'm going to put a few chicken wings. Right, so it smells really good. Mark's going away in the morning with Nanny Di, so we're having a bit of a special American dinner to send them on their way. There we go. Thank you. You're welcome.
Isn't it? Gin.
So the chicken has been, no water, has been beautifully marinating. And we're now going to get our oil ready. She says you're going to need 4 litres. It's a lot of oil. That's what happens when you make a fried chicken. Trouble is, we haven't got 4 litres. So we're going to want the oil at 160 for the bigger pieces of chicken and 170 for the wings. Now, as she said, you never leave your oil. Your oil is on, you never leave it. She said get everything ready because once you're flouring your chicken, you don't want it to sit around. You want to flour it and fry it straight away because if it sits around with the flour on it, it gets sort of sticky rather than crispy. So I'm just going to I'm a bit worried I might have put a bit too much oil in there. I might take that down a bit because I'm thinking with the chicken, with that bubbling up, I think I've put too much. Right, so I'm just going to make the ranch sauce. So I've got 200 grams of creme fraiche and 100 grams of mayonnaise. I think it's going to be a lot left for this. This is to dip your chicken and chips in, Mark.
Nice.
She says a whole clove of garlic, but I know that'll be too much for Mark. I'll just put a little bit. 3 tablespoons of pickle juice.
Oh, good.
She likes her pickle juice. Now she also puts lots of chopped dill in it. How much does she put? A teaspoon of dried dill and a handful of
Dildo.
chopped dill. But A, we haven't got any dill, and B, we don't like dill. I thought ranch was pink coloured.
Let's have a look.
Okay, and a teaspoon of American mustard. This is so funny, we're doing this the night before we go to America. A bit weird.
Weird.
Ranch. That's all there is to it. Done. Shall I put some dried parsley in for colour?
No.
Okay. So that's our ranch. We're going to be doing spicy chips, frozen chips, but she does them a bit differently. Fan 180. Get your frozen chips, just plain ones. Rather like you do Yorkshire pudding or these oven chips or roast potatoes, you have your fat in there beforehand and get it really nice and hot. Like shimmering hot. I don't think it's quite hot enough, but we're going to put spice on them. I'm just going to give them a little toss in the hot oil. I've worked with like Michelin chefs who use these chips like this, and then what they do is, oh god, one of them with this gorgeous garlic butter that they put on afterwards. I'll have to make those one day. They were the best chips I've ever had. Right, so our chicken has been sitting nicely. And now we are going to flour it and start frying it in a minute. So first of all, we need to make our spiced flour. So in there, I've got 400 grams of plain flour. This is the seasoned flour, and 140 grams of corn flour. That's the corn flour that will give it a crunch. We're also going to add a tablespoon of baking powder. Crazy, isn't it? So it's a big old recipe, this, that's for sure. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. 2 teaspoons of onion powder. I think this is going to be so good, right? Oh God, it's got a bit hard. Let's break that one. Oh no, it won't break it. Let's add it. Now she's, again, you remember the 2 tablespoons of all-purpose that I showed you? She said to use that again. But I found this. Isn't this gorgeous? This is an American one. And I think that's the same thing. So 2 tablespoons, let's put, I'm going to put 4 heaped teaspoons and hope that's about the same amount. Teaspoon of paprika, so much in this. Don't forget, if you want to put the chilli in, put the chilli in here as well. And then she says 3 tablespoons of black pepper. That's about it. And a teaspoon of fine salt. Let's just give that a good old mix. That was nice. Oh, I've got those big lumps of onion powder. I might put a little bit more paprika, I think, because we're not putting the chili powder. Maybe put 2 teaspoons of the sweet paprika. You can put white pepper as well. I think that's going nicely. Okay, then here I've got just plain powder because we've got a little bit of a process now.
Yeah. What's going on?
No, I can't do that. So I need another. Let's get those back on. I'll turn them on too early before. So now we take this out, the chicken out, and she says to actually wipe off the excess. And she says be mindful of this. You don't want any lumps of sort of buttermilk or anything on it. And you're kind of going to let them sort of sit there for 5 minutes or so that comes off. It's always going to be nicer freshly fried, but she said if you do fry it all and you have some left over, it does heat up really nicely in the oven. Now once she made this for her husband's birthday, it's a labour of love. Well, it's the equivalent, Mark. It's your goodbye, your au revoir. I'm just going to turn this down a bit because it is talking to me, which worries me. Jug, because we need 200 mils now of sparkling water. The sparkling water will help the batter to be light.
Is this like beer batter, same concept?
Yeah. Now, guess where this is going? In there.
Where?
In there. So weird. I wasn't expecting it to go in there at all. So nuts, this. Well,
This is like a science experiment.
she's proper.
Mad.
No, she's just. She writes the books for so many top chefs. So that should be the thickness of double cream, which it isn't really, is it? Not double cream thickness. Shit. Okay.
Single.
Maybe I shouldn't have poured all the water in. Right, just going to test our oil because we want it at 165 for our bigger pieces and 170 70 for the wings. First of all, this is a good little tip. This is classic Rosie tip. You take some of the sauce and you sprinkle it into the flour, and that will give you those nice little extra crispy bits that you get when you get proper fried chicken. Oh Christ. She says do it with a whisk. I'm going to be there all bloody day if I'm doing it with a whisk. Sorry, I'm not doing that. Forgive me, Rosie. I know you're proper, but can't be arsed. Where's the thighs? They're going to take the longest. And we put it into plain flour first. Shake off the flour and then back into the pickle juice. And then where do we put it? What do you think? Really let it drip off again. And now it goes into there. And then...
You might want to put your bowls in a different order.
Why?
Because you're going in the wrong direction. Going one direction.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, there's nowhere to live here. Right. Told you she was proper. Right, at this stage, you can only leave this chicken for 20 minutes. Right, Jesus. Okay, into there. What's happening with my heat?
I can't see it with my
I'm
lens.
trying to do this so proper. For Rosie.
It's 100 and I can't see the fucking thing.
Hang on.
160.
Okay, so that's right. Okay, so then into our pickle. Dread. Into our seasoned flour. Right, stand back. Shake it off. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit.
You're not going to put it over here?
No, I might as well put it straight in.
Right, okay. Just checking with your ADHD mind. There's no system. Guard.
A lid nearby.
Suit of armour.
Right. Is there another thigh? So let's do a little bit of breast. Smells so nice. All the different spices. Okay, that's enough in that pan because we don't want it to boil over. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Wow.
You want it at that same bubble, you don't want it getting much hotter because then it's going to burn on the outside and not be cooked all the way through. It's a big bloody ring. Ah! You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. This is actually rubbish. I'm thinking about it, guys. I think it's better to cut the wing. Well, no, you are supposed to have them whole, aren't you? Shut up! I don't need that laughing anymore. It's really fucking annoying. Right, I'm not giving you any of this.
Oh, you've got stuff on your face.
You can call
as well.
yourself a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah. How long do you know to cook them for? How do you know?
That is very, very difficult.
That one looks like a brain.
because it depends how big the piece of chicken is. But what the best thing to do is use a thermometer, a meat thermometer, to check the insides at the thickest part. I think, it's 160 it needs to be.
I've got a meat thermometer. Looks sensational, doesn't it?
Nearly frotted marking that time. So just going to check the internal temperature. We want it to be 165 Fahrenheit. Nearly there. That's almost ready.
That's a good fact. So the inside of a chicken needs to be 165.
We're going to dish up soon. Look at that. So you do want to put them on drying racks. So remember, don't put them on kitchen paper, because all that work we've done to get them nice and crispy will go out the window.
They've got all the right rivulets in them, haven't they?
Haven't they? I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, yes. Colonel Sanders, eat your heart out.
Oh, yeah. Guys, use something like this rather than the tongs. It was really silly me using those tongs. Because obviously the chicken can slip out of them. It's much safer to use something like this. Look at it. Certainly won't be using this oil again. And do remember, guys, if you use oil again, if it's had meat in it, you have to make sure you put it in the fridge. If you left it out overnight, it's just like leaving meat out all night. It's dangerous. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Not surprisingly, Toffee, who looks a bit like a piece of fried chicken, doesn't she? Look at the colour. Spot check.
Make sure you hit the meat and not the bone. Good. Good. You're good. Oh my God. I cannot tell you how delicious that sounds. Can't be arsed with doing the spicy chips.
Oh, looks nice.
Oh my God, it smells so
So nice.
Do you want to see me bite a bit? Listen. Oh my God. That is worth all the fuss. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the best fried chicken I've ever had.
Is it?
I've never had fried chicken like that.
Can I have some? Dogs are in.
Oh my good God. Right down.